Hi guys, hi everyone, it's me Ghost Girl again, and I'm here with you for another video for today. Unfortunately this is going to be quite a serious video. I was going to film another spooky story for you guys that someone sent me, but I think that's going to have to wait till next week. Something happened and I'm kinda on like red alert about it. I don't know if you recognise the scenery behind me, but this is the woods again where I used to film. If you've been subscribed to me for a while now, you'll know that I used to film a lot of my videos in the woods because I couldn't get time on my own to film a video, so I was having to go to like our places to film, and this is a video in the woods. And one of the reasons why I came here is because it's quiet and not a lot of people come here, and also not a lot of people know that I go here. So I'm kind of on red alert now because of this thing that happened last week. Now this is a thing that happened last week, so this is going to be a serious video. There's going to be no editing, it's going to be raw, so if there is glitches, I am filming this really raw. Sorry. And that is just because of this. It's a serious video and it's a serious thing that happened to me, and I'm kind of freaking out, and I wanted to expose this man, and I kind of just wanted to talk about it because I've not really got anyone like at the minute that I can talk to, because Britain went in lockdown again. This is lockdown number 3, and I can't meet up with any of my friends to like talk to them in person, so this is what I'm doing. So as you'll see from the title of this video, this is about my ex-best friend's really super creepy uncle. So I'm sure you guys know who this lassie is by now. If you're fairly new to this channel, then you probably don't know who I'm talking about, but for people that have been subscribed to my channel for a while now, you'll know who this person is. And it's starting to annoy me now because this person is like, even though it's not them personally that is involved in this, it is a member of their family, and I feel like they keep something to do with them, or them themselves keeps creeping into my life. And I don't know, I think it's just because she was in my life for that long, and they've got that many connections, the two of us. Like, we know a lot of people in common, and that, I think that was just because I was brought up with this lassie. But her uncle, he's a bit of a creep. Like, so I'm going to start the story off like from the party, and I'm going to tell you about this party that I went to when I was a bairn, just to give like extra content to the video. So this party was when I was about maybe 12 or 13. This guy was having a birthday party. I can't remember how old he was for his birthday. I want to say his 30th, but he couldn't be 30 because he's in his 40s now, so it might have been an older than that. But we went to this party, and it was just really weird. Like, my ex-best friend is it's the same person, so if you haven't seen the video My Ex-Best Friend Liar, and then I did a video telling a spooky story in Spookfest Part 2, where I told a story of a paranormal experience that she had, and then a paranormal experience about what her dad had and her mum. So I've done 3 videos on that. So it is the same person that keeps popping in my life. But yeah, I don't want it to make it seem like I'm obsessing over her and her family, because it was like this guy like came on to me. So yeah, this guy, he's a bit creepy. He like, we were going to this party, and even my ex-best friend told me that this guy was like super creepy and that he was into young lassies and that. And I remember growing up as a kid, like, his mum was horrible to me. She didn't like me at all. Like, she was always really nasty to me. So was her boyfriend. And I'm wondering now if the reason why she was so nasty is because if the two of them were trying to cover up the fact that their son was a super creep. And now that I'm older and this thing has happened to me, I realise that they were actually trying to cover it up, and that's why she was always really nasty to me and didn't invite me to anything, and didn't like it whenever my ex-best friend invited any of her friends to like anything or went to her house. And this is actual madness, like this whole situation, because it's like me and my ex-best friend, like we used to play outside this guy's house when we were kids. Like, my ex-best friend's dad, it's his mum who has a sister, right? And his sister has a son, and this is the creepy uncle that I'm telling you about. And when he used to live with his mum, like when me and my ex-best friends were kids, we used to like play like outside his house like all the time. Like, I've known this guy since I was a kid, so it's like super creepy that he's actually done this. Like, really, really creepy. It is raining today, guys, so if you see like kind of droplets or like weird camera effects, that is what's going on. So yeah, it was just super creepy. The guy at his party, it was weird. Like, he knew that all our Chelsea, like her and me and all our group of friends will come at that party. And we were all between the ages of like 14 and 11, and the fact that he knew that we were all coming made that super creepy, because he wanted a cake, he wanted a Manchester Bab cake, right? Now, Bab is spelled B-A-B. Take away the A and add in 2 O's, ooh, and then you've got what kind of cake he wanted. Now, if anyone's not familiar with British football, or a word that the Americans use is soccer, so if you aren't familiar with this British soccer team, Manchester, he wanted a Manchester Bab cake. And a Manchester is like a city in Britain, and you've got Manchester City and Manchester United are the 2 football teams in this British city, and he supports Manchester United and he watches all their matches on the telly and stuff. So he wanted that with a cake and Babs, and I just thought it was super creepy. And I was talking to one of my friends on Facebook about this, on my personal Facebook. I have a personal Facebook which I don't share on this, it's just something that I use for personal reasons. And he lives in London right now, so I can't see him now because of the lockdown. And he was saying that it was super creepy and that this guy should be in the jail. And I was like, how did no one phone the police? And I was waiting to him because his mum and dad are like trying to cover up for him. Like, I think the whole family is actually covering up for them. And so that happened at the party, and what eventually happened was that he had held this party in the parish hall, which is like it's not like in the church, it's a hall. It's like a couple doors down from the church. They have this like kind of venue that they own and allow people to hire and make money for the church. And he was wanting to bring that cake into the parish hall, and the church found out about it, and they were like, no way, this goes against our religion and our beliefs. We cannot have that type of cake in our hall. If you want that type of cake, you can have it, but don't bring it into the hall. So I think what happened was Chelsea, my ex-best friend's granny, ended up like making a cake, and then they ended up taking that in the hall, and they never got the Manchester cake. I'm like, thank God, because I wouldn't have felt comfortable at that party at that age with that type of cake. I probably wouldn't have ate it or took it home. If my mum found out about that, it should actually kill me. Could you imagine if I brought home a piece of that cake and gave it to my mum? She'd crack up, especially at that age. So yeah, I'm glad that never happened. But the really creepy thing that happened last week, I'm just going to get into it now. I had to explain that story obviously for a bit of context, so you guys are getting like the full picture. So anyway, that happened, and then last week I was sitting in my house watching the telly, and it was 5 o'clock in the afternoon, which isn't that late, but Scottish winters it gets really dark at about 3:30, 4 o'clock, so it would have been pitch black by then. So I'm sitting watching the telly. I can't remember what I was watching. I think it was The Last Airbender or something. I had it on Netflix. That is a good film, but it's not as good as the series. And apparently the books are meant to be even better, but I've not read them yet. But anyway, I was sitting watching the telly, and then he sent me a message with Facebook, and I kind of just ignored them because I know that his mum and his stepdad, I'm just going to say, didn't really like me, and I've not seen him in that long. Like, I don't, even though I've known this guy for years, I don't really see him that often. Like, I see him like once every blue moon, and we'll like have like a kind of friendly conversation kind of thing, but it doesn't really go anywhere like beyond that. So yeah, I thought it was weird that he messaged me on Facebook, because he's never done that before. So, and plus I wasn't really in the mood to like talk to anybody. I just kind of wanted to like have peace and be away from social media and just relax watching telly. But anyway, so yeah, I was watching the TV and I just ignored them, and then he sent me another message saying, oh, are you just ignoring me then? And I'm like, oh, thank myself, oh for goodness sake, what does he want? Seriously. So I messaged him and I was like, hi Robert, I'm just kind of watching the telly, I've not seen you in a while, like how are you? And he was like, oh yeah, I'm kind of bored, to be honest. I was like, I know this lockdown's actually driving me nuts with boredom. And he's like, oh, maybe you can come up to my house to see me. And I've never been in his house before. Like, he bought a house in an area, in fact no, it's a council house. He got a house in an area outside my scheme, but it's near where kind of near where I live. But this area where we got this house, it's kind of like a dodgy, rough area, and I've never actually been to like his house before. Like, I've only ever been to his mum's house, like when he lived with his mum, and I didn't feel comfortable going to a 40-something-year-old man's house by myself in the pitch black. And then when he was sending the messages, I just got like this really super creepy vibe of him, and oh god, it was just so creepy. So then he was, so then I said to him, oh, I don't think I'll come in, and then I kind of made a joke saying, oh, come to that bit where you live at night, lol, that's like bandit land at night, just making a joke. And then he said he started sending back like laughing face emojis, and he was like, oh come on, it's not that bad. And I said to him, aye it is. I was like to him, you forget that I went to school in that area. I went to a school in that area, and I know what it's like and what the folk there are like. And then he was like, don't you live in this area? And then I thought, no, that's kind of weird. Like, he knows that I live in the scheme that I live in. Like, I was brought up with his niece. I used to play with his niece all the time, like outside his house. So I don't know where he was getting that information from. Like, he knows that I live in the same scheme that his niece used to live in. So I don't know what he was playing at like that, but I thought that was like really weird. So I said to him, no Robert, you know that I didn't live in that area. I was like, mind, me and your niece, we used to play outside together all the time. He was like, oh aye, you were brought up in this scheme, blah blah blah. And I'm like, oh for goodness sake, I'm actually getting the total creeps here. And then he was like trying to figure out where I lived. Like, he was trying to figure out like what street I lived in and my house number and that. And I was like, why are you trying to figure out where I live? He was like, oh, I could maybe like meet you like halfway. And I said to him, no Robert, I'm not going, I don't want to go. And he was like, oh, and then he tried to like guilt trip me. And then he was like, oh, but my mum's in the hospital and I just need somebody to talk to. And I think to myself, no, you don't want anyone to talk to, you just want a one-nighter. Which, if anyone doesn't know what a one-nighter is, which is like a hook up. So imagine any hates at the beginning of that hook up. Yeah, that's what he wanted. And I could tell because he was giving off like a dead, creepy kind of vibe. And I think to myself, that is weird. What does a 40-something-year-old man want with a lassie in her early 20s? Like, coming up to his flat. Like, that is weird. And I said, no. I said to him that I couldn't come up and that I wasn't going up. And then he was like, oh well, I hope you're alright and you have a good time. I was like, no, you're a creepy creep. But yeah, that is just like dead creepy. And apparently there's another creep in that family. Like, my ex-best friend's mum's brother was a creep as well. I have a friend as well that the two of us grew up with, and one of her big sisters, that guy fancied the big sister, and he asked her on a date and she said no, and then he tried to like bite her thigh, and I'm like, oh my god, that is like super creepy. I did not know that about him. And I thought that, and I was actually shocked when she told me this, because it was like, I grew up with him too. Like, these two creeps I grew up with these two creeps, and you're only just telling me this now when I tell her about the creepy uncle. And I'm like, oh my god. So it was just, the whole situation was just super creepy, and I know for a fact that he'll probably go and tell his ma, and he'll probably tell his mum like a pack of lies or half-truths, and he won't show the messages, because I know what he's like, and I know his mum will make a big story out of it, like a big drama, and then she'll tell our sister, and then her sister will tell my ex-best friend's mum and dad, and they'll tell my ex-best friend's big sister. My ex-best friend's big sister will probably tell my ex-best friend, because I just know what these people are like, and then and then knowing my ex-best friend, she'll probably start a big massive drama about it and probably start a hate campaign about me on Facebook, because she's done that to somebody before. She started a hate campaign about someone on Facebook, and it wasn't even the last didn't even do anything wrong. It was Robert twisting things as usual, and then it all got found out, and then she got made to look like an arse, but then she's an arse, so what's different there? And then knowing her, she'll probably like go out looking for me and hunting for me, and then I'll get fucking abuse in the street, and then she'll get her wee slaggy friends to like attack me, like what she tried to do before, and it didn't work because I battered her pal and her. So yeah, they're horrible. It's not just her that's horrible, it's the whole family. They're a horrible family. But I was actually going to post this video instead of the 100 subscriber video, but I thought I'll wait it off for a while and then tell it. But then because we went into lockdown, like no one's really cutting about as much anymore, so everyone's kind of like inside kind of thing. So there's probably going to be more drama to come when this lockdown reoccurs, if it ends when Nicholas says it's going to end. I doubt it. I don't trust that bitch. Like, don't trust her one bit. But anyway guys, I think I'm going to leave this story now, because I've kind of told you like everything that's going to be told on the story, and I'm kind of just rambling now. So I'll see you guys next week, and goodbye.